It's so unfortunate, Iman, because that book is one of those books that's not so much read as it's deposited into our imaginations by culture. People just assume that we know of that book, even though very few people have read the book. It's an epic novel, it's a complex novel, it's a multi layered novel in which the allegedly blasphemous action takes place in the imagination of a deranged character during a dazed phase of his life. And the beginning of the controversy around this book was in India, led by a group of rather self-serving Muslim parliamentarians who demanded a ban on the book. And one of the MPs said that, this book is written, deliberately written to insult and provoke Muslims. And he was asked if you read the book, and he said, no, I haven't read the book. And the Indian Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi kowtowed and he banned the book. And as a result of that ban, Iran took notice of this book, and the Ayatollah Khomeini issued a death threat not only against Salman Rushdie, but also everyone involved with this book. And it's very important to remember that one of the book's translators, the Japanese translator of the book, was murdered. The Italian translator of the book was shot. 37 people died when extremists tried to kill the Turkish translator of the book. And the recent stabbing of Salman Rushdie is really the culmination of a very long process. It's not the act of a lone deranged man. It's the culmination of a very long process in which many people besides the assailant are complicit.
And he warned of behaviour like this. Just remind us what happened in the aftermath of the initial publication. He's gone from safe house to safe house, needed police protection.
Yeah, all he did, as he kept saying, is I wrote a novel. And the list of people, or the list of luminaries who faulted him for provoking the bloodlust of his critics is embarrassingly long. It involves people like Roald Dahl, John le Carre, Germaine Greer, Geoffrey Howe, Jimmy Carter. Everyone faulted him for writing a novel when he said, what I'm doing is I'm a novelist. I've created this fictitious world, and if you don't like it, don't read it. And most people who wanted his death, who wanted his blood, didn't actually read it. And rather than mount a defense of this fundamental freedom to think and to write, people who ought to be the guardians and custodians of those freedoms actually took the side of the reactionaries and the obscurantists who wanted to murder Salman Rushdie.
Yes, someone who didn't take that stance, of course, the author J.K. Rowling, who in her support now, or offering support to Mr. Rushdie, finds herself and her life being threatened as well.
I mean, this is the thing. As the Ayatollah said, it's not just Salman Rushdie, it's anyone involved with the book and anyone who defends this book. In India, many eminent Muslims actually defended Salman Rushdie and his right to write the book, and they were attacked by fanatics and reactionaries, and the government took no action against those people who attacked these eminent Muslims. And within the Muslim world, many what we call moderate Muslims who took the position that Salman Rushdie had a right to produce this book, had a right as a writer to think freely, they were attacked. And J.K. Rowling sadly joins that list of people. And we have to take what is happening very seriously. The fatwa is not an historic event. It's a live process. It is current. As recently as 2019, The Independent published a piece by a British writer who said that he wouldn't have the satanic verses in his house because it was so many Muslims found it offensive. There is a strange fusion of what I would call the murderously benighted and the suicidally enlightened. And this Salman Rushdie is a casualty of the fusion of these two forces.